you all so much for being here. This is such an incredible evening for us tonight, realizing this dream we have had for many years of bringing two of our incredible entrepreneurs from Uganda to meet you. So thank you for coming and participating this evening. And also, I just want to quickly say that Boulder has been the bedrock of BeadforLife for so many years, and so many of you have given of yourselves, your dollars, your time, your advice, your spirit. So thank you for everything you've done to make this organization what it is today. We started BeadforLife 9 years ago, and it really was with the idea that many of us know that 1.4 billion people on the planet live on $1.25 a day, and that people who are living in extreme poverty have very few options. But what we didn't know is that tens of thousands of people would come out of so many walks of life to join with us to create opportunities for not 10 women or 100 women, but thousands of women in Uganda to change their lives through their own hard work. And our model is very simple. BeadforLife means business. And we focus on three essential components to empowering women. The first of them is putting money in women's hands. We buy beads, we buy shea nuts, we put money in hands of women that go directly into food, education, shelter, clothing, meeting people's essential needs. The second step of BeadforLife is providing ways to take that money and invest it in income streams that are sustainable over the long term. And so we provide entrepreneurial training, business training, numeracy training, and in rural areas we focus a lot on farming. And the third area that we focus on is kind of a big bucket of things that keep people in poverty. Once they have the money, once they have the skills, things like poor health, things like lack of access to clean water. And those things we determine location by location where we're working. We really try to understand what are the needs in the local community and how can we tailor our response. So that's our basic program, but it looks different in every location where we work. So in Kampala, where the two women we're going to introduce you to in a moment come from, the money is beads. We buy beads from the women every 2 weeks. They make these incredible, beautiful products made out of recycled paper. And they come to us and we buy them, and they take that money right home and they use it to meet their needs, as well as saving and investing in a business fund. Then our business training is really entrepreneurial. It's how do you start a small business in this local economy, and what does that look like? And it's mentorship. It's going to the business and helping them really understand what are the things that are challenges to them and how can they overcome. And the third area has to do with things like access to health care when there's an emergency, or mosquito nets so their children are not getting malaria again and again. In a rural location, it might look very different, and so we recently started a project in northern Uganda, working with people who had been displaced for years and years by Joseph Kony and his horrible army. And these were women who have also suffered incredible hardship. Many of them have seen family members hacked to death in front of their eyes. Many of them have had houses burned to the ground. Some of them were even kidnapped by the rebels and taken into the jungle. And these women are literally rebuilding from the ground up. Some of them returned to their homes. We met a woman named Kansi when we were there in the fall. And she said, the only way I knew that this was our homestead was because the trees looked familiar. There was not a scrap of evidence that anyone had ever lived there. And so from this plot of land that's been overrun by jungle, she's had to now eke out a meager existence by trying to get a 1/4 acre of land turned by hand so she can plant seeds again, rebuilding her house with bricks that she makes from mud. And so in this rural area, the money part is shea nuts. We buy shea nuts from these women who have collected them for generations. And the business training is agribusiness. It's creating opportunities for groups of 5 women to get an oxen and a plow, 2 oxen, and to start to plow the land so that rather than planting 1 acre, they're planting 3 acres. And over the course of several harvest seasons, they repay the cost of that that plow, and then this group owns the plow outright, and now they can go to 5 acres and 7 acres. And in these rural areas, the additional services look like deworming tablets for children who are suffering from chronic malnutrition because they have worms all the time. So our programs are adapted really to meet the needs of each local community. And we have a couple other programs that we're very excited about that follow this same model of sustainable development. One is putting girls in school. We know that investing in girls is critical to the development of an entire nation. And so we take the brightest girls from the rural areas in which we work and we put them into secondary boarding school. And research has shown that for every single year that a girl goes to school, her family is healthier when she grows up. She has lower child mortality. She has more control of income and more power within her family. So it's an incredible leverage point for development, and we're really excited about that program. And then I'm thrilled to announce that just 3 weeks ago, we launched a new program that we're calling the Street Business School. And the Street Business School is taking everything we know about building small entrepreneurs and helping them start businesses, and it's taking it to women who never actually make beads. It's women who have tiny businesses, and when I say tiny, I want you to imagine a woman seated on a sidewalk with a little fabric and a pile of 10 tomatoes. That's her business. But she had an instinct that she wanted to do something, and so we take that woman, and together with 30 other women, we give her the business training and the savvy that she needs to think about what's that next plateau in business that I can strive towards. And so we have high hopes for the Street Business School. We're very excited. We've just enrolled 30 more women, and they're on their way to becoming entrepreneurs. But our work is not only in Uganda. We also have a strong mission in North America, and that is really to create engaged and inspired activists who want to help fight extreme poverty everywhere it exists, and to understand that smart and effective programs like Bead for Life that give people an opportunity rather than a handout are the most sustainable way for people to change their lives themselves. And you're going to hear some stories about that. But in North America this year, we're on track to get in front of over 400,000 people with our story and with our beads and with our shape products, 76,000 of whom are students through our curriculum. So we're really excited about that as well. And so our mission is really global. We work with women, and amazing women in Uganda, and you're going to meet 2 of them in a few moments. And then we spread our voices here in North America, and I think that this room and this audience really represents the belief that we all have that together doing small things, big things, medium things, things with each other, things by ourselves, we really can make a difference and connect to women a world away.